In Washington, President Obama chose Danny Werfel, a White House budget official, to temporarily lead the Internal Revenue Service, and the president vowed that the agency would not target groups based on political beliefs. John Harwood has been following the story for us and joins us from the White House with more. John?
Tyler, the president continued today to try to tamp down this scandal, bring it to a conclusion as much as he can. It's not easy. Yesterday, he fired the acting IRS commissioner, who he replaced with Danny Werfel, as you mentioned today. Today, he came out at a news conference with the Turkish prime minister, said, we don't need a special counsel to investigate this in light of everything that the Treasury Inspector General has looked into, all the congressional committees. He said, we got plenty of investigations.
The IG has done an audit. It's now, my understanding, going to be recommending an investigation. Attorney General Holder also announced a criminal investigation of what happened. Between those investigations, I think we're going to be able to figure out exactly what happened, who was involved, what went wrong, and we're going to be able to implement steps to fix it.
But of course, it's going to start right up again tomorrow because Dave Camp, the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, who I interviewed this morning, is having a hearing on this. He told me he was not satisfied with the Inspector General's report, and he wants answers from Steve Miller, even though he was fired yesterday, including about what was the political motivation behind what the IRS did.
Well, he's still the acting commissioner until June, so he's still the guy. We have a lot of questions to answer.
Do you personally have any reason to believe, or do you believe, that the White House was involved in this?
Again, I don't know the answers. We need to get answers, and we're going to follow this where it goes.
And that's, of course, a key question to how long this goes on. Yes, Dave Camp will have a hearing in Ways and Means tomorrow. Max Baucus, who I also interviewed, the Senate Finance Committee chair, is going to have a hearing as well. Other congressional committees will. But if they don't connect this to the White House at some point in a more significant way than's happened so far, ultimately this thing may run out of steam, guys.
So, John, there's a new acting commissioner. You think he's up to the task of handling all of this?
Well, it's a temporary appointment. He's going to serve through the end of the fiscal year. This is somebody who's been working in the budget office, and the president still has got to appoint a successor to Doug Shulman, who was the last IRS commissioner, who was on his watch that these abuses occurred. And whenever that happens, that, of course, is going to trigger a confirmation process that will be a challenge and drag out discussion of this even more.
So what happens next? We know about the Ways and Means Committee hearings that begin tomorrow.
Well, we've got the Ways and Means Committee hearing. We're going to watch for more personnel fallout. We got word late today that a second official who had headed the division of IRS that oversaw the questionable screening activity is leaving his job, is choosing to retire. So that's one issue. Then the question is going to be, how do they staff up the agency? What reforms get implemented? And what does Congress do? Do they pass legislation, for example, to overhaul the way that tax-exempt organizations are regulated? That's one of the big questions for Congress.
A lot of questions and a lot of big issues. Thank you so much, John. John Harwood at the White House.